Despite not going through the official process to become the Democrats' 2024 nominee, Kamala Harris is, at this point, the presumed nominee. She's got enough delegates. Everyone's just rooting for her. She even is a TikTok craze right now, apparently. She's also already made a short list of the folks that she is considering as her running mate, and one of the people on that list just so happened to help found the Giffords gun control group. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Joe Biden kind of put the Democrats in a bit of a lurch this week when he last minute dropped from the race, not even alerting his campaign staff until 1 minute before the social media post went live. Whether he is aware that he dropped out or not is another story entirely and would have to be a totally different video. Either way, the Democrats are now in a spot of trying to scurry and find a new nominee before the election, and the DNC isn't far away. I believe there's even some states that have already closed off their ballots. Don't know how that's going to work. Despite not going through the official process, Kamala is presumed to be the nominee at this point and is acting like it, already giving campaign speeches and the whole 9 yards. Now, according to CNN, Kamala has the endorsement of all the big players and is moving forward on creating a list for her VP running mate. Also, according to CNN and now CBS, one of the people on that list is Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, the co-founder of Giffords gun control group. CNN reports that they have specifically been given the short list of 4 names. That list is North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, and Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, who again helped to found Giffords gun control group. Gretchen Whitmer, that was a Freudian slip if I ever heard one. Whitmer has been floated by CBS, so has Newsom, but it turns out that with Newsom, because they're both technically California residents, the 12th Amendment stops them from being able to be on the same ticket. So for now, we can count him out. But before I tell you about each of those candidates and how they look for the Second Amendment, I would like to tell you about today's sponsor, the Attorneys on Retainer. A fact of today's world is that when carrying a firearm, self-defense incidents happen both at home and in public, and if there is an incident, you can absolutely count on there being an investigation. That is where the Attorneys on Retainer program from the Attorneys for Freedom comes in. Their goal is to make sure that you are covered for legal defense if a self-defense incident happens. They are actual lawyers whose job it is to give you actual legal counsel rather than an insurance company with exclusions and fine print that might be more looking at covering their own butt. Attorneys on Retainer has you covered for misdemeanors, felonies, appeals, and even bail bonds. It doesn't even matter if you were in a gun-free zone or a state like Massachusetts or California or New York. Unlike insurance companies, their only requirements are that the incident happened after purchasing coverage and that you reasonably acted in good faith. They are also legal in all 50 states, unlike some of those big insurance plans. So, switch on over from your existing self-defense coverage by heading on over to my link down in the description, and you can use code LibertyDoll to get $50 off your sign up. So back to these possible VP picks. Kelly is a former astronaut and U.S. Navy captain, but his big claim to fame is that his wife is former Rep. Gabby Giffords, who was shot during an assassination attempt in 2011. Together, the two formed the Americans for Responsible Solutions group, which merged with the Legal Community Against Violence in 2016 and changed its name to Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence. They've been behind all kinds of gun control, have lobbied at the Supreme Court to keep unconstitutional laws on the books, and even filed a lawsuit against the NRA in 2021. If you are pro-gun, you know who these people are. The organization has publicly stated that their goal is no more guns. Here is the exact quote from Time magazine. As we wrap up our interview in her office, I ask how she keeps coming back to a challenge so deeply ingrained in politics. She pauses for 12 pregnant seconds. No more guns, she says. Ambler, her aide and advisor, tries to clarify that she means no more gun violence, but Giffords is clear about what she's saying. No, 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 she says. Lord, no. She pauses another 32 seconds. Guns, guns, guns. No more guns. Gone. And this wasn't some statement given years ago with enough time to argue her views or goals might have changed. No, she said this last April. So it's a given that Kelly has been very strict on the topic of gun control. For example, he supports a federal assault weapons ban and has co-sponsored gun ban bills. Democrats have also floated him as an option for the presidential nominee, though it's unlikely, saying he's strong on gun control because he's well versed on guns given his past history and because Gabby Giffords herself bought a Glock before the assassination attempt. The family, allegedly, still owns guns, which the left says makes him a perfect gun control candidate because no one can say he doesn't know what he's talking about, and him being a gun owner lends more credit to his anti-gun views. With anti-gun people, the rest of us would just call that a FUD. Instead, to me at least, it reads as hypocritical. If you own guns while also stating your organization's goal is for Americans to no longer be able to have guns, those two things do not compute. As for the other candidates, the only one that could be considered remotely moderate on the Second Amendment is Andy Beshear, who has said he does not support an assault weapons ban. Instead, he says he supports red flag laws, making him the lesser of four evils, but still evil, at least when it comes to gun rights. And how Kentucky even has a Democratic governor seems like it should be a crime. I don't understand how that even happens. Though I'm sure you folks from Kentucky will tell me all about it in the comments. I'm guessing it has something to do with a large blue city. As for Whitmer, well, she doesn't need an introduction. Y'all know who she is. Roy Cooper, over in North Carolina, of course, vetoed a bill that would have removed permit requirements for pistols. The legislature overrode his veto, but then pulled the bill, saying they'd already passed enough gun bills at the time, whatever that means. I did a video about it when it happened. At the time, legislators hinted that the NRA was somehow behind pulling the bill. As for Josh Shapiro, he is so anti-gun that he's endorsed on the Giffords website. That should tell you everything you need to know there. Among his major talking points is a need for universal background checks, closing the alleged gun show loophole, and red flag laws. As for Kamala, well, like I said in the intro, she is already doing her little campaign speeches, and one of the very first things that she attacked and put on her agenda is gun control, so giddy up, my friends. Whew. All right, folks, that is it for this video and this crazy timeline of politics, election crap that we are in. It is wild how fast the news is moving right now. What a time to be alive. Anyways, you guys know the drill. For all of the algorithm things, I don't have to tell you all the time. Check your subscriptions. Make sure that I am still on your list because YouTube likes to kick me off, and I am so close to 300,000. It is coming. Please help me get there. And as always, folks, thanks for tuning in and happy shooting.